phase, beginning of push-off phase. Go to your world. And Heather, stay there. That's what you have on that sheet. All those pictures, those little boys and those women who are nurses don't know how to reciprocate like this. That's it. So if you're a good gait person, go clean up their gait. But I doubt you're going to clean this up if you don't forget about the appendages and go where? To the rib cage. That's that message. So we're trying to get this suboptimal activity both of the brachial chain, ribs are up. How many pictures did you see of characters with ribs up? Ribs got to come what, everybody? Down. Otherwise, you can't get into mid-stance on one side. They got to come down. If your ribs are always up on the left side, you never can get in mid-stance on the left side. Why are you worried about those freaking orthotics? Put them in. They may or may not let you go, but if you can't let go with them in, you know you got a problem with what? 3 balloons not getting in on what side? The right side. Orthotics could help you get right out of it. But then what are you going to do dynamically? Give them rewards so they don't have to go back because they've got a habit of liking to stand on which side. As we get into this afternoon, this is what you got to get into. Muscle for form and function, which begins on page 9. I'm going to cover, Jen, the top 8 or 9 muscles, okay? I'm going to go way too fast. I can already promise you that. But I've given you on every single of these muscles I'm going to talk to you about this afternoon a reason why you want to look at them again. And not only am I going to give you a reason why you want to look at them again, I'm going to tell you where they attach. Not fair? And you have them in your manual. And we'll just take the first one right off the bat. It's a muscle called the thoracic dorsum of your sternum. It's called the triangularis sterni. It's that guy. If I took Gail and I brought her up here and I cut her carapace off, her front carapace, cut right through the shoulders, took it out, laid it out for you, turned it around, and took a picture of it, Gail's undersurface of her carapace would look like that. She'd have the sternum, some diaphragm, and a lot of fiber that looks starburst in nature coming from the rib cage down to the sternum. It'd be a starburst. It is your number one exhalation muscle. You don't even know you got. If it contracts, you will never get a pectus. Did you hear what I said? If it contracts, your sternum's got to go which way, everybody? Forward. The ribs come down the side, sternum goes what? Forward. Wouldn't you want a chest that has that going on in your body with every swing phase you make and gait? I would. Triangular sterni. Attaches to the body and xiphoid of your sternum and to the ends of your costal cartilages of ribs 4 and 6. The lower border of the costal cartilages of ribs 2 and 6. It draws your ribs down. Can you all underline that, please? It draws your ribs down. How about this one? It blows up amazing balloons. Those target balloons. It gets the balloon to what? Expand. It makes you feel lighter. It releases your need to stay focused on one side. It repositions your thorax. It takes an S-bone and makes it symmetrical. You have 3 of them that should be what? Symmetrical. It is a huge muscle in Posture Restoration Institute. And if you didn't get a good anatomist who told you about it, you were shortchanged. That's the first muscle. The lat muscle, bad guy muscle. Everybody beats it up. Everybody wants more of it. It extends, adducts, rotates the arm medially, and draws your shoulder down and back. Everything we've been talking about today, that muscle does to us. Goes from your lumbar aponeurosis to the spine, T612, spines of lumbar and sacral vertebrae, supraspinous ligament up to the iliac crest, down the iliac crest, and then it attaches to the bottom of the intertubercle groove of your humerus. It's a big, big muscle. It's big. It's a big guy. It's a big guy. This is a tendon. I love looking at these tendons. This is the strongest tendon of your body. The strongest tendon in your body is not your gastrocsoleus tendon. I don't know where that ever came from. Research will tell you that is not a strong. You'll rip that baby so fast it's not even funny. You will not rip. How many in the room have ever seen a lat rip of a tendon? It's impossible. You'd break the shoulder blade. You will not rip this tendon. Now, why do you need so much power through the lat? Why am I got to have all this huge power for thoracic rotational extension? I didn't say thoracic extension. Why are we so cool about giving abdominal, meaning core muscle, when the best rotators you have are not the abdominals? Look, what's the best rotators you have in your trunk? Do you see those abdominals, Kurt? Those are big abdominals. What do those things do to your spine? They go to the transverse abdomen. What do they do to your spine? They turn it. That is the best thoracic rotation you're ever going to have. If you use one side without the other. What's going to get one side of the lat to work without the other? You know the word, we did a whole half day on it. Ventilation. When one rib cage goes down, the other rib cage goes up, one side of that lat is going to work to empower you. What happens if nothing's rotating? You become a posterior exterior chained up person. And do you have thoracic rotation at that point? No. Do you have extension? That muscle was never meant to be an extender muscle. That muscle was meant to keep you in extension for rotation. Can you write that down? It was put on your body to keep you rotating when you extend. That's why you got that muscle. You don't have that muscle to extend. That pig farmer didn't need that muscle to pick up that 5-gallon bucket. That pig farmer needed that 5-gallon bucket picked up with one side as the other side did what? Let go. Lats have to rotate. When lats don't rotate, you don't breathe. You can't stand up. You can't shut off a hip flexor because you're too lordotic. And the only thing that's going to prevent you from falling back is your hip flexors when you're that lordotic. So you got a lat and a hip flexor group that love to stabilize you without rotation. No, rotation, can't breathe, POT syndrome, sleep all day long, don't feel any better. Then I need something during the day to wire me up because I'm a pretty anxious guy. Am I making sense? What do lats do, Chad? They functionally rotate you in extension. They have to work independent of each other. Write that down. They have to work independent of each other. And if you put anybody on a program where they're working simultaneous, that is the antithesis, that's the exact opposite of what PRI stands for. If you tell me you're going to put them on an abdominal program on one side and you still have lats that are working together, I'm kind of holding my laughter inside back. Really? I'm not going to laugh at you. But you're really going to do an ab program with that guy's back that tight on both sides? How are you going to get that spine to rotate with those abs? I'm not laughing at you. I'm just asking a question. How are you going to do that? Making sense? Lats work independent of each other. How about this one? Diaphragms work independent of each other. How about this one? Abs work. I think you guys get it. That's called bi. Bi. by activity. Integrated activity. Somehow we lost that. I don't think we ever had it. Does that make sense? So that's why I want to talk about that picture. There is nothing better in the world than a pec muscle working with that lat to keep you stable. You got it, baby. That's stability. But please don't ask me to putt-putt. That is stability. We like hanging with flexion, so you get rotation. And if you pick up one leg when you hang, Jen, you know we do this. You pick up one leg when you hang. I got one lat that's rotating with the other lat going into flexion. It isn't the hanging. Are you breathing on one side? We'll pull one side down. We'll let the other side go, Jen. Breathe in. I looked at the CDs you put together. That's all written that way. One lat's got to be on, one lat's got to be off as you lengthen it. You'll figure it out. If you don't want to be a marsupial, you might want to think about trying it. We used to when we were kids. Reach and hang as you rotate with one lat. If you rotate with one lat, you got a diaphragm that's breathing on one side better than the other. And if you can reciprocate that, every time I drive by my little St. John's grade school over here on Vine Street, and I see those little monkey bars, boom, 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 I smile. My girls were on them. Of course, one broke her arm twice on one, but my girls were on them. Because every time they took one arm, they moved it out forward and forward. I knew that was the best physical therapy they could ever possibly get. And I'd always ask them, did you guys get on those monkey bars? They have no idea why. Did you get on them? Did you go across a couple times today? No? I'll come and see if you can do it if you want me to. We'll make it a game. And that's what I'm trying to get across to you. What are you going to do with that little Owen? Chad, how are you going to keep that little Owen? And then what do you do when they get big? How are you going to keep it when they get big? And don't tell me what you're going to do to get them stronger. And don't tell me you're going to stretch out the lat. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Hanging does. Hanging does. See, this guy's got such an attitude. Look at this lat. Look at this lat. And look at this right side. Look at this. Look at that mid trap. No low trap. Here's his low trap on the left. He has no low trap on the right. He's a perfect human. Look at those. If I was a deer hunter, I'd want to get this guy. Look at those deer straps. I mean, those are nice back straps. I hope I'm not harming anybody. The point is, look at his back. That guy cannot rotate. He can't. Hanging is one part of the thing he has to do. What's the other part? He's got to figure out how to rotate once he's in that position of elongation. This is a left lat. This is a right lat. Okay? This is a left lat. And this is a typical human with a right lat. I didn't ask him to do anything. I said, could you please lay on your side? Can we get a picture of this? There looks like there's some alien circadian something's going on here. This is his right lat. That's his right lat. Does that look a little overdeveloped to you? What's this guy begging from you right now? All the way from Alaska down to Florida. What's he begging from you? Say it loud. Rotation. He is begging for rotation. Chad, he is willing to do anything to get it back. He's begging for it. And you know what? He'll keep strengthening his lats. He'll keep doing it. Because he's stronger with them on than when he's off. You take that lat away, now he can't breathe. Because he's a parafunctional breather. So you got to educate him. We're going to go through slow. We're going to give you an e-cigarette. We're going to start real slow. But we'll get you. We're going to take that right side. We're going to do that intercostal wall. Open it. You can't. Is there any expansion on the intercostal wall on that right side? Looks like somebody just took a big strap and staked him down for life. And on the left side, he has a nice intercostal wall. Another overactive short lat guy. I'm going to keep showing you bunches of pictures here. That's not a POTS patient, Heidi. This is just the reverse of POTS. See the difference? Narrow little pelvis. These are volleyball players. He's not a volleyball player, but see that narrow little pelvis? See those nice, good-looking lats on him? Boy, have they gotten strong. His shoulder is below